And that, my friends, is my father's clam chowder as interpreted by me. Hey guys, welcome to my kitchen. I'm Jamison, and this is how I cook. I was talking with my mother about my father who passed away last year, and she mentioned that one of his favorite recipes that he loved cooking and that she really enjoyed was New England clam chowder. So up next, in honor of my father, on This Is How I Cook, we're gonna show you how to make New England clam chowder just in time for fall and with winter right around the corner. Okay, here are our ingredients. But before we get too far into the video, do me a favor guys and hit that subscription button and turn on those notifications. So I live in Georgia, and the easiest way to do clam chowder is with canned clams. So I've got whole baby clams. I've also got some minced clams. And to help boost the clam flavor, I've got some clam juice. We're gonna use some heavy cream. We're gonna also use some milk. And we've got some beautiful russet potatoes, a white onion. We've got some seasoning here, salt, pepper, and a little bit of dry parsley. We've got some garlic powder. We've also got our friend Mr. MSG. And we've got some beautiful, beautiful oyster crackers. So the first thing we want to do with our potatoes is give them a good rinse underwater. You want to get all the dirt off of the potato. The next thing you want to do is get you a vegetable peeler. This makes it super easy to peel potatoes, especially if you have to peel a bunch of potatoes. And the nice thing about this vegetable peeler is you can peel going forward or you can peel coming back to you. And you just want to take the strips of the skin off of the potato. And then I spin it around, come back the other direction. And then you've got a little bit on the end here, just to make sure you get that off. And that potato has been peeled. And when you peel your potato, you just want to make sure that you don't have any black spots on your potatoes. These are russet potatoes and they're known for that. And I just keep peeling until it's gone. And then you just want to make sure you get the end. Same thing there. If there's a black spot. And that is our peeled potato. And so with a potato, you want to get a nice flat surface going. And so what I do is I come in and just kind of pinch the potato on both sides and take my knife and run it down the middle. And what happens is this gives me a nice flat surface to work with that won't let the potato rock when I'm trying to cut it up. And so what I do is I cut the bottom off the onion, and I also cut the top off the onion. And I set this aside. And then what I like to do is take my onion and just kind of score that first layer of peel on the onion, and then come underneath and I peel the onion that way. So you got a nice clean onion. And so next, I'm gonna take the onion and cut it in half so I have a nice flat surface, exact same way you would cut up a potato. And then what I'm gonna do, since I'm cutting this into dices, I'm just gonna come in here and saw this into about thirds. And then we just come down and score through. And you just take your knife, take your knuckles, ball them up, make kind of a claw, put your knife up against it, and then just work yourself back. And this protects your hand from accidentally cutting yourself. reduces that risk greatly. Same thing, cloth. And then now I just come in and mince up this last little bit here into dices. And that's how you cut up an onion. Okay, so we got a pot of water to boil our potatoes. And so what I'm gonna do, because I want my potatoes to have some seasoning, I'm gonna go ahead and salt the water with 2 generous, 2.5 generous pinches of kosher salt. Now that our water is salted, we want to take our potatoes and add them to the water. So the way I check this is I just take one of these and I kind of give it a squeeze. And it should be gently yielding, like it's almost about to crumble. Show you again. See it? See it breaks apart? Those are ready. So our next step is we need to saute these onions. And so use as much butter as you want to use. This is probably 2 tablespoons worth of butter. You're going to have to remember how much butter you put in, because you want to put in equal parts butter and flour. Our next step is to add in our onions. So now we added in our chopped up onions. And so we want to saute these onions until they're translucent. Remember, we're going to add liquid into this as part of our chowder base. And so this is going to cook in the chowder. So you don't have to cook the onions until they're, done. But you do want to cook them until they're translucent. Helps add flavor to your chowder. And you just want to keep moving these around in your pot until they become translucent. At this point, we want to add in some flour. I forgot to mention this in the ingredients, but we're making almost like a roux. So we're going to combine the butter that's already in here with the onions, as well as the flour. Add just a little bit more. The more roux you initially make, which is nothing more than a combination of flour and fat, the more creamy and thick and luscious your clam chowder is going to be. At this point, we're going to add in our milk. And as this heats up, this milk, flour, butter, onion mixture, it should begin to make you think about clam chowder. And that's our chowder base. We're going to add in our clam juice, the whole bottle. Once we come back to a gentle boil, now we can add in our potatoes that we set aside. And at this point, you want to be gentle as you fold the potatoes into the clam chowder. You don't want to stir this too vigorously and break the potatoes all apart. You just want them folded in gently. At this point, I want to add in some garlic. So I brought my flame down to low because all this is done. We've cooked the potatoes already. We cooked the onions. That beautiful clam juice has given us this aroma of clam chowder. Look at that, that's just perfect. Now, I know you're saying to yourself, well, that looks pretty thick, Jamison. Well, the next thing we're gonna add in here is our clams. So these are our minced clams. I want all that juice in there as well. And then we also add in our whole clams, juice and all. You don't want to overcook the clams at this point. Everything's done. You just want to gently fold the clams into the chowder. At this point, your clam chowder is done. And so what I'm going to do is take some heavy cream and finish my chowder. So here's our clam chowder. And now I'm adjusting this for seasoning. So I've already tasted it, and it needs a couple generous pinches of salt. All right, so guys, we have got our clam chowder prepared. It's beautiful, thick, and luscious. And all I'm gonna do, take my time and begin to lay some into this bowl. Come back in with some dry parsley. If you had some chives, that'd be good too. And that, my friends, is my father's clam chowder as interpreted by me. This clam chowder smells amazing. It looks amazing. Can't wait to taste it. Let's see what we got. So I took a handful of those oyster crackers that I showed you earlier and I put them in here. The thing I love about a good clam chowder is I like it to be nice, thick, and creamy. Let's see what we got. Oh, oh, wow. It's like magic, man. It really is. It's so easy to make. Hold on. Let me get another bite. Get some more of these oyster crackers on here. Oh. Guys, I'm Jamison, and this is how I cook. Go and make that clam chowder this fall and this winter for somebody you love and somebody you care about. I'm so glad my father took time to introduce me to clam chowder. You guys be good. I've got to get back to my food. Tastes so good. Chowder.